I'm pointed right at my parents. That's perfect for their pictures. Okay, so if you want to flip with me to 2 Corinthians 5:14 first. Wait. 2 Corinthians 5:14. Yes. It's right here. So this verse says, "For the love of Christ controls us, because we have concluded this, that one died for all, therefore all have died." And what I got for this is that Paul isn't saying that he's forced necessarily. He's saying that God's love creates an inner pressure and a driving force that reshapes how he lives every day. Let me center this so I can see everybody. Okay, there we go. So that got me thinking, what motivates us every day? Is it pressure, people, our emotions, or expectations? Because what Paul is saying is that the one thing that should compel us as believers is the love of Christ. And that shouldn't be guilt or fear or trying to prove anything or everything if you're trying to, but it should be just love. So going back to that verse, I kind of broke it up because Pastor Melly told me this year's is compel and commit. So with compels, I thought this is saying that the love of Christ pushes us, it drives us, and it controls our direction. And Paul is saying that he doesn't live the normal way anymore because he's been captured by God's love. And that's just so cool because that's how it should be. And after this, we're going to also turn to Romans 8:38 through 39, which I also need a minute to flip to, so bear with me. So much stuff in my Bible. My mom puts notes in there, so I keep on flipping to the wrong spot. Oh, here. Wait, no, it's not there. Oh, it's back there. Thank you. Okay, so this verse says, "Who is to condemn? Christ Jesus is the one who died, more than that, who was raised, who is at the right hand of God, who indeed is interceding for us. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or danger or sword?" So this is saying that God's love is unshakable, and it doesn't depend on how we perform, and it doesn't depend on whenever we mess up, or God's love doesn't change when our life changes, even if we think it does. And nothing can separate us from God's love, and nothing else is allowed to define us as long as we don't let it. And if that kind of love is real, it is real. It doesn't comfort us, it changes us. Okay, time for the next verse. We're full of verses. It's time for John 13:34 through 35. I could just read it off the screen, but I want to read it from my Bible, so. So it says, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another just as I have loved you. You are also to love one another. By this all people will know that you are my disciples if you have love for one another." And I also broke that down. Whenever he says, "Love one another as I loved you," this is Jesus setting the standard for us to live our days. And it's not just convenience, like that we love people, just be like, "Oh, well, I feel like it, so I'm loving you." It's not just selecting whichever day we feel like loving people or whichever people we want to love. It's sacrificial love. So whenever even we don't feel like it, you do it anyways. And the second way I broke up this is, by this everyone will know. The evidence of faith is not just words. It's visible between believers. So whenever we love each other, and then other people say that, like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool." And then we're influencing other people to love like Christ. And to make it a little bit more practical, I guess, and give examples, whenever we treat people when we're irritated, like when your dad eats your leftovers that you were waiting on. And you love him anyways. That was maybe a little bit too practical, but that's true. Yeah, it does. Or when you love someone when they don't deserve it, or when we feel like they don't deserve it. And whenever we forgive when it's hard. It's also hard to forgive because you really want the pasta. And you like almost dreamed about it when you were sleeping, and it's just not there in the morning. It's fine. I wasn't thinking about it or anything. I wasn't counting on it. And if we're truly compelled by Christ's love, it's shown in how we love people and how we treat people and how we walk every day. And so I have this question. Are we loving people because we feel like it or because he loved us first? Because it should be the second way. And now there's like 3 ways it goes. We are secured by his love, and then we're transformed by his love, and now we're identified by his love now that we found it. And so I'm compelling you to ask God to rekindle love that compels, and not emotion, but for conviction to move your life. Amen. And my last thing I'll say before I introduce See Love, love people. Love people who don't look like you, think like you, vote like you, dress like you, or act like you. Because love has no loopholes.